All right, guys. Today we are gonna be reacting to Kamala Harris literally glitches on Stephen Colbert while rambling about dreams and all the stuff. Let's jump in.
Talk about Colbert. All right. She goes on Colbert last night, and once again, she arrives as she did on The View yesterday to thunderous applause. You know, of course, they stack the audience with New Yorkers for the most part and Kamala fans. So it makes it look like she's got this same sort of support everywhere. It's 50-50 in the country right now. The polls are very, very tight. We'll have an update on just how tight in a bit. And Colbert asks her the question she's been getting asked. Would you do anything differently than what Joe Biden did? She was asked that on The View, and she gave Trump a campaign ad, which, as we predicted, Trump would make an ad out of within an hour. He did, where she said, no, we're the same. I was in on every major decision, which is a disaster for somebody who's running on, move forward. We can't go back. So now Colbert gives her another bite at the apple, and here is how that went in Sod 8.
Polling shows that a lot of people, especially independent voters, really want this to be a change election, and that they tend to break for you in terms of thinking about change. You are a member of the President administration. Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be, and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I noticed.
And so that would be one change in terms of... But also, I think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump. And so when we think about the significance of what this next generation of leadership looks like, were I to be elected president, it is about, frankly, I love the American people, and I believe in our country.
Oh boy. Here we go, folks.
I love that it is our character and nature to be an ambitious people. We have aspirations. We have dreams. We have incredible work ethic, and I just believe that we can create and build upon the success we've achieved in a way that we continue to grow opportunity, and in that way grow the strength of our nation.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Oh.
This is crazy stuff. I'm sorry, folks. This is way beyond craziness. Way beyond craziness. I'm sorry, folks. And I'm trying very hard just to watch these kind of videos, bro. It's hard, folks. Kamala Harris, hard to watch, man. And I really sit down because I want to make sure that I know what my opponents, political, are saying. And it's hard to watch, folks. It's very hard.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I asked my team to send me her interview. I didn't stay up and watch Colbert. And they sent it to me in 4 chunks. Debbie Murphy, I missed that chunk. I missed the chunk. I saw it written down in the packet as a highlight. That's the first time I've seen that. It's better as a surprise. You're right. That's Canadian Debbie in my ear. Batya, she had a brain glitch. She forgot the question she was asked. You could see she ran out. She was a blank. And then she went back to hopes, dreams, aspirations, and work ethic, which this audience knows we've gone through it umpteen times. That's her fallback. That's what she likes to say in response to almost everything. She's not a smart person.
I watched that clip like 30 times because it just keeps getting better and better. It's so amazing how her first answer is, well, I'm not Joe Biden, and then I don't think she realized that was going to be right. Like,
not only that sounds like she's literally throwing Biden under the bus as well, Like she's literally throwing Biden under the bus. This is the clear example that she and her team and the Democrat, they despise the Bidens. They use him for what they needed to, and they got the power. But now I think the sauce costs more than the chicken and the meat, because now it doesn't look good.
Applause line, they all laughed, and I'm not Donald Trump, right? It was so amazing. And then you're totally right. There was a glitch, and then she moved into the stump speech, right? Here's the thing, Megyn. She's not doing this media blitz to convince anybody to vote for her. She's doing the media blitz to reassure the rich people who are already in her camp that she can land this thing, right? She's not actually out there trying to convince swing voters. She's out there speaking to the very wealthy people who are already in her corner. And why do I say wealthy people in her corner? Well, here are a few statistics, okay? In 2020, a quarter of billionaires went for Joe Biden and only 14% went for Donald Trump. And since 2020, venture capital donors have donated to Democrats at 75%.
Damn.
Hedge fund donors, 68%. Donors of the big three management consultant companies, Megyn, 95% of their donations go to Democrats. We talked last time about the Oprahs and the Meryl Streeps. This is who the Democratic Party is. It is rich people who don't have real problems.
Because they don't feel it. They don't feel the economy. They're rich people. And there's nothing wrong with rich people. I wish a lot of people were rich. Problem is that they become elitists. They become elitists, and then they disconnect. That's not okay.
So how do you get them to feel excited about you? Word salad is fine for them because all they want to see is their own vanity reflected back at them. And just as proof of this, you know that this is an election of one side representing the rich and one side representing the working class, because one side is talking about real problems and one side is talking about made up problems, right? What's Kamala Harris running on? An abortion ban that Donald Trump promised he was going to veto, right? A threat to democracy, allegedly, in the form of Donald Trump, the most popular politician in America, right? And the so-called divisiveness of Donald Trump, who has unified working class Americans of all races for the first time in generations. These are made up problems to make rich people feel like they're backing something important. Now look at what Donald Trump is running on. A wide open border, which has resulted in crime, but more importantly, the absolute plummeting of the wages of working class Americans. Donald Trump is running on offshoring of manufacturing. Donald Trump is running on wages and working conditions for working class Americans. And most crucially, Donald Trump is running on the fact that for most working class Americans, the American dream has become a fantasy, okay? So you look at the platforms of both sides and it immediately tells you not so much who the candidate is, but who their base is, who they're speaking to. It could not be clearer.
That's so interesting. Now, speaking of billionaires, this came up between Colbert and Kamala last night. Would you look at this, Satu?
There are quite a few billionaires who support you. You are from Northern California, after all, where they grow them in fields out there. Who's your favorite billionaire? Because we all have a favorite billionaire. On three. 1, 2, 3. Oprah. I'm sorry.
This is cringy, man. That was cringy as hell. Cringy. Insane, like Oprah. It's so obvious, man. Right now, think for the amount of information that is out there. Why Oprah? What's the connection there? I know they did an interview, but what's that all about? There's some weird stuff going on.
I claimed Oprah. You can't take her now.
It's stomach turning to me.
Yeah.
What's happened to him is what happens to virtually every news personality and late night personality and host of popular shows, podcasts, etc., which is they start getting invited to parties with Jennifer Aniston, etc. And they start thinking they're finally one of the cool kids. Yep. Everyone likes them. They can go to parties where they see very well-known Hollywood stars who make them feel important, like they're on the inside circle. And then they drink the Kool-Aid and they start talking like that in a way that really projects, I have no balls. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to my testicles. Perhaps you would like to take them, madam. I see you've taken them from your vice president. It's amazing to me that he would embarrass himself that way and that they would think it's good politics to get up there being so chummy chum about how close they are with billionaires like Oprah.
Personally, I think it's because they're trying to pander. They're trying to pander to their donors. They need money. Their money. And you know what's crazy? I think Kamala Harris, I think she might surpass over $1 billion by now. But that's what it is. They need their money, so they have to pander. I'm gonna read the rest of the interview in the description down below. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.